What's up, ACL Nation? We are going to have the women's singles and doubles world champion on the show, Sarah Cassidy, as well as talk about some of the great rookie ACL pros that we're going to bring into the division next season. This is the ACL Throwdown. As I said, we're going to have Sarah Cassidy on the show this week, talk about her incredible wins at the ACL World Championships. But first, let's talk about the rookie class, if you will, coming into the ACL Pro Division, and that rookie class has never been better. We have some great talent already in the division, but I would argue some of this top-level talent that's going to make their way into the division this season are going to immediately be able to compete and, hey, maybe even have some top 10 players in the mix here. Players that I want you to watch for this upcoming season, no matter if they're going to be a top 10 player, maybe they're only a top 50 player, but will make a splash at some point this season. Let's start in Texas. We got Caleb Batson, a young gun, just a teenager, but will be pairing up with Eddie Grindersleeve, who would now consider a veteran in the ACL game. Eddie winning that Galveston, Texas qualifier earlier in the year, and now those two being able to play together on a consistent basis, knowing how good of a slinger Caleb Batson is after he went 7-1 in that qualifier, tells you that team is going to be raring to go. Watch out for Caleb. The next female should have no introduction, but I'll give her one anyway. Cameron Belvin, 2019 ACL Women's Singles World Champion. She is going to be dominant on the boards, not only in our women's division, but now in our pro division as well. Can't wait to see Cameron Belvin. Immediately after Belvin, I have to transition to the 2020 Women's Singles World Champion, and who I'm going to have on the show this week, Sarah Cassidy. Calm, cool, collected, and consistent was the recipe for Sarah Cassidy's win at Rock Hill, or multiple wins, if you will. She is going to be a great addition to the pro division. Watch out for her. Love this. Ian Cripps out of Louisiana, just 10 years old. He will officially become the youngest ACL pro in history. Watch out for Ian Cripps. And just because he's 10 years old doesn't mean we just let him in. I mean, he qualified through that pro qualifier. He earned his way. And when we walk up to the boards, you're going to underestimate a 10-year-old. You better not underestimate this 10-year-old. Ian Cripps is slinging it down there in Louisiana and going to be slinging it in the pro division this season. Next up, we have the flop shot master, I am deeming him right now. Noah Wooten, obviously a top flop shotter. This one could arguably be the best in the country. That is Eric Davis. Eric Davis in the advanced singles division at the World Championships was throwing that flop shot at will, the roll shot, whatever you want to call it. Watch him moving forward this season and watch his mastery of that shot. It's so fun to watch. Another player that I'm really looking to make a big run this season as well that can execute that flop and roll shot, Tony Smith out of Massachusetts, also went 7-1 in the qualifier. His only loss to Matt Guy, who went undefeated on the day. I'll get to him in a second. But Tony Smith, one of the best players in the Northeastern Conference, now gets a chance to show off his skills in the ACL Pro Division. Watch out for him. I just mentioned him, the only player to go 8-0 in the qualifier, Matt Guy and son Brett Guy, going to be slinging it in the ACL Pro Division. Man, they don't really need much introduction. Guy Nation going to making their way onto the main stage. The airmails, the pushes, slide shots, a million bags in the hole, whatever have you. You know those two are going to bring it. Two players that have made their way through the ACL College Division and are now competing in the ACL Pro Division, Anthony Kissel and Timmy Jonas, both from Baldwin Wallace University, show the development of the ACL College program, being able to start there, appear on some ESPN broadcasts representing their school. Both of them winning some big matches when it mattered most, back-to-back years winning the pro and college or alumni invitational. Kudos to them, and now they'll be competing as ACL pros in the division. Just 2 more left. The next one, another ACL favorite from way back in the day, is making a comeback. Jordan Langworthy, the 2017 World Singles Champion, took some time off and is now back to compete in his first ACL Pro Division. If you can believe it or not, he jumped on before we had a Pro Division. So it'll be his first Pro Division. So I guess technically he's a rookie still. And finally, Reynolds Bags Master, the master behind the sewing machine, Jeff Reynolds, going to be joining the ACL Pro Division, a sneaky, quiet player. For those of you that haven't been around the game a long time, you may just know Jeff Reynolds as a bag maker, but I'll let you know, ladies and gentlemen, he is much more than just a bag maker. Watch out for him on the boards. Those are my hashtag Trey's takes. Let's chat with the women's singles and women's doubles world champion, Sarah Cassidy. See how she celebrated her big win, as well as how she's mentally preparing for her first season as an ACL pro. ACL Nation, I have your 2020 ACL women's singles and women's doubles world champion, Miss Sarah Cassidy. Sarah, I'll roll right into it. My friend, what is it like when I say that? I mean, women's singles and women's doubles world champion of cornhole. What is it, when I say that, what does it feel like?
It feels amazing, honestly. Like, it really hasn't really sunk in yet, because I still have my friends and family coming up to me and just saying, how does it feel? And I was like, it just feels so amazing. Like, it's just never what I expected, because when I started the ACL, I actually started in the competitive division. So I always watched the pros and whatnot on the main stage on ESPN, and me and my boyfriend started the ACL together. So I told him one of my main goals is to be on that ESPN stage. Like, so just coming into the worlds and just having the opportunity and just finishing out that season real strong, it just really is just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it was an incredible performance. You kind of somewhat were the dark horse in the event, and sweeping both, I think, was just incredible. It was so much fun to watch. You handled yourself amazingly, and excited for what is to come. So, you talked about starting in the ACL and kind of, starting with your boyfriend and what have you. So for those of you that don't, a lot of people across country may not know you yet. And so how did you get started in the game? How long have you been playing this sport?
I mean, way back in like 2011, 2012, it was just like a thing to hang out with my friends and family thing, just going out to local bars and just throwing and having fun. And being from Florida, we play out on the beach a lot, so we just load up the cornhole boards and go out on the beach and start throwing. But I really got introduced to ACL about 2 years ago, is when I really started realizing like how big of the sport is and how competitive it is, and different bag selections, because we're used to the old corn bags. So it was a lot to adjust and whatnot with the sport. So
yeah, and you've done a great job. I've done a great job. So obviously winning that world singles title, and then doubles with Cheyenne Renner, a fantastic performance. And I got to ask you, like I said, there are some big names in the women's division, women's singles and women's doubles. But you played so well. Coming into that week, were you feeling that you were going to take it home, or was it just something that developed over the week? Or what was your mentality coming into this World Championships and looking to take down a world title?
Well, when I arrived, my very first day, I was so excited. I was like, I don't care if I win or lose. I just want to make it into the top, like be the top, because I know I just had the same confidence. As long as I had my confidence as I did back home and carried it into the World Championships, I knew I had to start and finish strong when I started playing. So, and it was a lot of tough competition, but in my mind, I just said, as long as I just play my game like I do back at home, I could make it far. So,
and playing women's doubles, playing with someone you're obviously very familiar with, Cheyenne Renner. I mean, Cheyenne, a great player, Both of you had incredible performances, especially in that doubles final. I mean, it had to give you some level of comfortability, even though the main stage was something that was new to you. Playing with someone familiar like Cheyenne certainly had to be of some comfort, right?
Well, Cheyenne and I actually knew each other for just a year now, so it was actually our first time playing together. Originally, I was supposed to be teamed up with another women's doubles partner, but actually, like at least 2 or 3 weeks before the World Championship, she actually approached me and asked if we can become women's partners, and I was just so excited. I was like, all right, I know we can do this as long as we play your game, and I know your game. As long as I play my game, I know my game. We could dominate, honestly. So I thought we could finish strong there. So.
And you absolutely did. I thought your performance, both of you, was great. So, kind of somewhat lost in this, and it shouldn't be lost, somewhat lost in your entire World Championship performance is the idea that you've also qualified and will be competing as an ACL Pro this coming season. And so it'll be your first season as an ACL Pro. You'll be playing doubles with Kaylee Hunter, a fantastic all-women's team. It's going to be so much fun to watch. So as we look forward and as you're getting ready for your first season as an ACL Pro, what is your mindset? Where do you? What's the mentality that you have going into this first year?
Well, going into this year, I just feel like I just have to have the same confidence as I did last season. To be honest, as long as I just have the same attitude and mindset I had from last season into this season, I know I could make it far and finish strong.
Yeah, I have all the confidence in the world. Last question for you, Sarah. What is it like? We talked about this just briefly right before the call. Well, what's it like being on a Topps card? I mean, that's got to be pretty cool, huh?
It's so amazing. It's so unexpected, too. Like, I didn't even had it in my mind about having a Topps card because it was just a joke around thing saying, hey, what if you get your face on the Topps card? I was like, it'll never, ever happen. I was like, stop it. And then literally, like, I think it was like a couple days after being home from the World Championship, you guys asked me if it was okay, and I said, absolutely. So I'm excited about that.
Well, get all those autographs, work out that carpal tunnel in the hand. You'll be signing a bunch of them. Women's singles and women's doubles world cornhole champion Sarah Cassidy. Sarah, thank you so much for chatting with me this week on the ACL Throwdown. And not that you need much of it, but good luck this upcoming season in your first rookie season as an ACL Pro.
Thanks, Jay.
Sarah Cassidy, I am so excited to have her in the pro division this coming season. A delight on and off the boards. Thank you so much, Sarah, for your time this week. If you haven't already done so, make sure you follow us on TikTok at ACL Cornhole. Follow us there. We have some great heavy hitters on our TikTok platform now. Whitney Martinez and Andrew Clark are the dynamic duo of content creation, bringing you a bunch of content on our TikTok platform. So make sure you check them out and give them some love. That's all the time that we got this week for the American Cornhole League. This has been your host, Trey Ryder. We'll see you guys next week.